Welcome back to another round of VGC ranked doubles in Pokemon Sword and Shield. Alright, with this one we're going to be going up against, I can't pronounce that name because it's a foreign language. They're going to be using Behyman and Indeedee, while I'm leading with Glastrier and Sableye. They're going to go ahead and set up Psychic Surge, which is, just awesome. I'm anticipating double expanding force on their side, so let's see what they do. I just go ahead and pull out Sableye because I want to bring in Pincurchin just to troll them and to remove their terrain. So now we have Electric Terrain up to get rid of their Psychic Terrain. And Indeedee, use Follow Me. So I go ahead and go for the Icicle Crash. I was kind of anticipating the Indeedee to use that. And look at that. Behyman uses Trick Room. So now I have the fastest Pokemon on the field with Pincurchin. And Glastrier is a close second, but I'm not really quite sure if it's going to outspeed this Behyman because I can't really remember what its speed stat is. But as far as I know, I should be up there. So in comes the Snorlax. They switch out the Indeedee because they want to protect it and to keep up with the Terrain Wars. They're gonna Dynamax their Behyman when they have a Snorlax. Alright, you do you. They have a strat that they want to follow with and they're rolling with it. So I go ahead and use a Rising Voltage on the Snorlax, anticipating that it was still going to be Indeedee. And instead, the Snorlax soaks it. You gotta love that Beastly special defense. Let's see. The Behyman uses Max, some Ghost move, and then, Max Phantasm, and then that's the end of that turn. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and follow up with my Dynamax, and with this one it's going to be Glastrier yet again because it's, one of the many MVPs on my team. Maybe the best Pokemon on my team, but we'll see. Pincurchin's going to play defense and use Recover, and then after that, this is what they're going to do. Snorlax is going to use Fling to activate the Pataya Berry, and then also to activate Weakness Policy. So that way now the Behyman's +3 on special attack, and then after that I'm going to go ahead and do as much chip damage as I can onto it. And then Behyman's going to follow it up with a Max Rock Fall. That's going to be enough to take me out because how can I survive a +3 Max Rock Fall with Glastrier? I don't care how strong I am. You can't survive that. Okay, so chip damage is going to happen with Pincurchin, and then actually everyone's going to get hit with Sandstorm. So I get the Leftovers Recovery, in comes Sableye. And then there we go, we get the glitter effect, and we're going to follow it up with what are we going to use? Rising Voltage on the Behyman, and then I believe Foul Play on the Snorlax just in case it wants to use Belly Drum or something like that. We just need to wait for them to make their decision, but I'm pretty sure they're stuck between a rock and a hard place at this point for how they want to handle this battle, especially when I have the fastest Pokemon. So Behyman's going to use Max Guard to stall, Rising Voltage is going to get blocked, but then Snorlax uses Yawn. And he should know better that Yawn is not going to work on electric terrain. So we get more chip damage from Sandstorm on everybody. And then after that, I get my Leftovers Recovery to counter that with Pincurchin. And next up, we're going to go ahead and finally take out this Behyman unless they switch it out. We'll see what happens. Yep, they switch out Behyman. And then they bring out Indeedee to negate my Psychic or Electric Terrain with Psychic Terrain. But I'm going to go ahead and use Rising Voltage anyway, and because Indeedee is low, it has a sliver of health left, I use Foul Play to finish off the Snorlax, and then down that goes. And then chip damage is going to take out the Indeedee, thankfully. But yeah, we're going to get Leftovers Recovery. No, doesn't survive? What does it have? Huh, strange. I thought I got him in the previous battle, but oh well. Alright, so now we're going to wait for them to make their move here. They bring back out Behyman, but then I believe we have one more turn of Trick Room, and then I'm just going ahead and looking at what their possible fourth Pokemon could be. So I just decided, you know what, let's just keep messing with their terrain because I don't want them to launch any expanded forces on my team. So in comes Rillaboom, we get rid of the Psychic Terrain, and then in comes the Grassy Terrain, so that way we don't get hit with expanding force, and then there we go. We survive that, no problem. Go for the Foul Play to finish off the Behyman. And then now all that's left is Indeedee on their side. Yeah, I think this Indeedee has like Rocky Helmet, or sorry, Weather Goggles or something, so it can't get put to sleep or anything. I'm pretty sure that's what they're rocking. Alright, so now finally we have, a Mungus. Yeah, they have a Mungus, and they have, what's it called? Indeedee for sleep counter. Especially when it comes to Spore and Sleep Powder, they probably built their team to protect against it. Alright, so Rillaboom's going to go ahead and use U-Turn to finish off the Indeedee, and then we're going to have Sableye use Foul Play just because we want to be able to counter this bad boy. And then since I'm anticipating that the Amoonguss can use Spore to troll us, we're going to go ahead and bring out Pincurchin just to get electric terrain back up, and then keep these two on the field, Sableye and Pincurchin. So Sableye goes for the foul play. They use Clear Smog to do some damage. Oh, because it's a poison attack, so it would have been super effective on Rillaboom, but then at the same time I switch out Pincurchin. So now that they realize I got them backed into a corner and they can't win, they just decide to forfeit, and then that's a win for the first match. Alright, so let's move on to the second one. It's Kenpie versus Black. Interesting name choice. Alright, so they're going to have Dragapult and Colossal. Ooh, I remember this battle. This one kind of threw me for a loop. I was anticipating the good old-fashioned Surf and Max Rockfall strategy, but instead they do the exact opposite of that, as you can see. So I decided to go after the Colossal, and instead they withdraw the Colossal, bring in Tapu Bulu, and then the Tapu's going to soak the, I believe, Max Quake. Did I Dynamax here? It was either Dynamax or I went for high horsepower. I think I went just for high horsepower, just in case as a failsafe. But anyway, they decided to Dynamax their Dragapult, and I thought, oh, interesting. So that means that this Dragapult doesn't have Focus Sash if they're going for offensive. I'm going to go ahead and Dynamax my Glastrier, and then in comes the Quash, but I mean the Colossal got completely negated. The Colossal takes out, or sorry, this, what's it called? The Dragapult takes out my Sableye, so now I have to learn to win this battle without support. Max Quake at least gives me a +1 special defense on my Glacier, so I can be thankful for that. I go ahead and decide to bring out Weezing because I decided to mix up my team here. So Weezing's going to be extremely bulky. We have Misty Surge up here because we wanted to use something to keep two terrains up so that we can protect against Sleep and Status. I know it's contradicting for Weezing, but this was purely experimental, just to use it as like a bulky Assault Vest pivot attacker. But yeah, they bring out Colossal from the Tapu Bulu because I knew that if I went for Sludge Bomb, I would one-hit KO the Tapu Bulu, so I knew that they would switch out. So instead, we just focus on the Dragapult, and then here we go for. And then, oh, that was the other thing I remember. Oh, I anticipated that they were going to switch out the Tapu Bulu, so I went for a Max Quake on the Colossal. And then Colossal is going to have Weakness Policy activated. But the joy here is that my Weezing actually outspeeds it. So I just decided, you know what, I'm going to use Max Hailstorm on the Dragapult. And then we're going to use Dark Pulse on the Colossal because, again, my Weezing will outspeed Colossal. We get Max Airstream, but then Assault Vest tanks it like a champ. And then they get Life Orb damage. We use Dark Pulse to take out Colossal. They barely survive it, so that was extremely wah. But what can you do? Down goes the Dragapult. There's the faint animation. And then next up we get our Chilling Neigh boost, and then this is where I anticipate Colossal to do something, but instead it just feints the chip damage. Alright, so now we just wait for them to make their next move, and then in comes the Raichu. Ooh. And then Tapu Bulu is back in. Alright, so with Tapu Bulu in, then my Dynamax turn over. We're just gonna go ahead and go straight for, I believe, the high horsepower onto Raichu. But with the other thing we have to account for is Fake Out, so they're gonna probably try to stall here. Yep, Raichu goes for Fake Out onto Weezing, which is unusual. They go for Close Combat on, actually the usual. Go for Close Combat with Tapu Bulu onto Glastrier. We activate our Weakness Policy. Then we go for the Icicle Crash onto the Tapu Bulu to knock it out, and then all that's left is Raichu. So with Raichu as the only thing left, now we just followed up with a high horsepower, and then the rest of my team can do chip damage. So this is going to result in a win, because the Raichu can't win against a 3-on-1. So yep, with that said, we're just going to go ahead and do our end credits here. Thanks again for watching, everybody. Please feel free to leave a like and subscribe. Also, please do what you can to support the channel by checking out the affiliate links below. One that I'm going to shout out is going to be Webull. Sign up with Webull, deposit $100, and earn free stocks. Invest in yourself. Thanks for watching.